Yeah, okay. So once again, it's good to be here and to be with you all. I love this space, like I've been telling some of you, where we can just come once again and sit around uh, a fire like this and talk. Some people were asking me, can't we just have an evening for stories? Just stories and tell you some of the stories before computer. Yeah. Yeah, some of you, your things are made easy by text, WhatsApp, and many other things. But some of us lived through a life where we had to do things, communication the hard way. Yeah. I don't know how many of you are dating. So imagine how much you've been helped by the computer in messaging and all those things. Yeah. Some of us had to write a letter, take it to the post office, and all that. Yeah. But yeah, so this evening we are here again to continue our conversations and on another very interesting topic, really. Uh, my mathematics mind led me to that topic. So that topic is called Even the Odds. Even the Odds. And you know that numbers have even and odd numbers, right? But it's also an English phrase, actually, to say the odds are against you. When somebody says the odds are against you, it means you are getting trouble after trouble. Yeah? Whatever you try is failing, things are breaking down, and everything you touch seems not to hold. That's the odds are against you. And then when they say even the odds, it means you're counteracting the odds. You are making them even. Like you're taking steps that seem to be changing the things that were against you. Yeah? Like things are beginning to shape up. That's evening the odds. So I just used that phrase to basically portray life. I think life is like that. Life is like counting. But I want to start like I usually do, to start with, again, a story. And all my stories are true. They are based on reality, eh? Yeah, my grandpa used to tell me some of the stories, and they were like, "What are you talking about?" They seemed very mystical, Yeah, in terms of what used to happen, and yeah. But I like to tell the true stories of a life experience. So this was a time um, when I just want to describe for you our home setting, like where we lived. So our house was grass thatched and was built with just trees that we would get from the forest, build them in some kind of semicircle or circle. You just leave the door, where you put the door, and everything. We didn't have to buy anything from the hardware because you go cut the trees, can build them, and then get the smaller trees, build them around it, and then go create the roof, thatch it, and then do the mud. Just step on the mud, pour in water, and then build the house with mud and trees, and then you are in. And then for us, because we had some cows, created an enclosure. So you do another hedge from the house that touches the house and that goes and still leaves two gates. Okay, one gate is where the cows get out from. The other gate is where you get out to maybe put cow dung out. So, which means our compound, basically, when you get out of your house, your compound is the cows, where cows stay. You get out of the house and you're stepping into, if it's evening, you are stepping into the cows. If it's very early morning and the cows have gotten out, you are stepping into cow dung and cow urine and all that. So, and some of the tasks, the chores were to get the dung out in the back gate and create a heap. Do you know what we call that heap? The heap of cow dung. Where some of you come from, Chichuchiro. So it's called Ichuchiro, yeah? So basically, that was life. Now, the reason I tell that story is because it taught me that life is seasons. Because when it would be raining, the cow dung and the cows are moving, it would be so kind of like messed up, like. Yeah, so there's the cow urine, amaganga, and then the cow dung, and then the rain. Yeah? And then you need to clean it. That time, because I mean, some of you are going to say these weird things like, oh, that's poo-poo. No, that's cow dung. It was okay to hold cow dung. So you just, so when it has rained and so meshed up, you know, so you had to, like, to kind of, yeah, what's the word? Like comb, yeah, like just go with it because you can't lift. You go with it or something like that, and it would be such a mess. But there would be milk, okay? So there's the cow dung messed up, but there's milk because there is rain and there's pasture. Now, second season, and it seems there's a problem between rain and sun for some of our countries. When the rain is there, it is showing that it wants to be felt. You know, even here, floods and all those things, it really comes. And then when the sun comes, it wants to prove I also exist up there. So the sun would come, and then it would really, if it's prolonged, it becomes a drought. The pasture is gone, and you know, even the water, the dams would dry up, and then some people would have to take the cows away to go and look for greener pasture and look for water. So that means during that season you don't have cow dung. But do you notice what you don't have? Milk. So you don't have cow dung, but you don't have milk as well. And yeah, so you're like, what's really good? What's the good thing? Is it the rain season, or is it the sun or the dry season? And you find that each one of them is coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. And then I was also looking at if you are into these countries where you have seasons, okay? So you have your summer and winter. Of course, in between you have spring and autumn, right? Yeah. But I was reading like some countries that get very serious winter. Because winter usually is a time when you can't do activity, right? Because it's so cold, ice and all that. I was realizing some countries have used it as an advantage. Those of you that have done some history, maybe you've seen, you've heard how Russia, in the World War II, basically Russia defeated Germany because of winter. Yeah, it used winter as a weapon. Winter as a weapon. So I'm just setting that background, and then we will read the article and we see what nuggets we can get from it, basically to show us that life is seasons, and you may decide to say, for me I'm a winter person, for me I'm a summer person, for me I'm a rainy person, for me I'm something like that, rather than labeling one bad and the other good, yeah? Because what may look harmful may actually have some good in it. And what may look good may actually have some evil in it, or some bad in it. So it's just that mindset, and we see what you can learn from that. So that's what I was looking at in the article, which I guess most of you have, right? Yeah, it's called Even the Odds. And we will ask Julius to please read it for us.
Even the odds. Those who love numbers know that largely it's about even and odd numbers. Once you move out of the numbers, the narratives, we say against the odds to mean swimming against the tide. In fact, it means everything is working against you. Back to the numbers, just one addition or subtraction makes an odd even number. There's an illustration of even numbers there. There are some mornings that you wake up and try to size up what you need to achieve, and then you realize your dream is pinned against all odds. You find the finances, maybe your health, maybe your relationships, maybe your marriage would all be odds against you. I listened to the story of how my father dashed out of his house without a shirt as he was chased by people that wanted to kill him because of poor politics in 1960. He later rejoined with my mom in a refugee camp. My father and mother later produced 10 of us all together. How could those children grow up? How could they afford education? How could they get medication? How could they even return to their homeland? It is against all odds, yet it can get even. The Bible talks about the man Abraham, how he hoped against hope. This could be said that he believed against all odds. Against all odds, hope, Abraham in hope believed and so became the father of many nations. Just as it had been said to him, so shall your offspring be. Romans 4:18. What are your odds today? God's promises are yes and amen. Many times God's promise is contrary to your circumstances. The big question is, whose report will you believe? Will you believe the odds, or will you take one more count to even out the odds? As children, we had strategies for getting more, especially the circus edibles. If someone gave you 3 bananas, you say, come on, I don't eat ibihargwe, a term we used for an odd number. Now I wonder why I would not return 1 banana instead of asking for 1 more. Of course, in our fight against odds, we do not draw backwards, we move forward, we are progressive. Does this seem to present all odds? Bracket Psalms 30, verse 5. Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. The truth is this has been a season of all odds, yet for one step of faith we get our promises, thereby evening the odds. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. Ecclesiastes 11, verse 4. There is hope against all hope. Take one more count, one more step of faith against all odds. We grew up all odds. The 5 child killer diseases were alive against us. Against all odds, we are now odd yet odd even men out in society because the God of all hope evens all the odds.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, against all odds, we are now odd, yet not odd men out in society, because the God of all hope evens all the odds.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so I hope you have followed and you have picked a few nuggets there, right? So I think I will open it up to a conversation, and I will take the liberty to ask Helen to start us off.
Okay, Psalms 126. Let's start from 5. I'm reading from ESV. It says, "Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. He who goes out weeping, bearing the seed of sowing, shall come home with shouts of joy, bringing his sheaves with him." Mine from this whole article of evening the odds is, all I'm seeing is hope. Hope is all we've got in this life to actually go through life. When we stop hoping, then I think we slowly start dying. So this writer says, even those who sow their seeds in sorrow should still hope that they will reap with joy someday, sometime. So when we let go of hope, really, we have nothing left. in the article again, it is said Abraham. Abraham hoped against all odds. Like, he had nothing else to hope in, but he still hoped. And somehow that hope is what he stood on, or what kept him going, even through the days as he was waiting for his promise. As I end, I want to talk about something he said in the article. It says many times God's promise is contrary to our circumstances, and I would like to agree with that, because if you have all you need, then there is no reason to hope, right? We hope for things we do not have. We hope that we will get them. We hope that at some day, at some time, we are going to get them. So the odds might be there, but hold on to hope. There is going to be a victory at the end. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you made it against that odd of an airplane flying over.
I hope so.
Because your voice was competing with it. Thank you. That's beautiful. Yeah? Okay. Do we have anyone that wants to pick something, a phrase or a nugget, or anything that you want to respond to?
For me, when you spoke about your dad in 1960,
Okay.
I just remember my dad. Because also in 1959, he was heading in exile. And you are the product of that man, and you are the hope, because he was against all the odds.
Yeah.
But the result, the result, it's a hope, because now we are here talking about the stories, and you overcome, and you become more than what he was expecting. And you are not showing the result of circumstances on that life. You are showing that beautiful morning you said in Psalms, that after everything there is a beautiful morning.
Yep.
There's a hope.
Yeah.
So that's what you're showing. So 10 of you,
10 of us, yeah.
there's a hope, there's a beautiful morning, there's a story after that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
After this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Truth is, like when I said, some of you may not even know the 5 killer diseases. I remember measles. Measles would sweep a village and literally everybody would die. Like all the kids you would find every house mourning, like they've lost a baby, because all those things were there. Measles, polio, or whooping cough, all those things were there. And then when you are just a child of a refugee who is poor, who doesn't have access to insurance and medical care, yeah, against all hope, here we are. Yeah, thank you.
I also want to share what I got. I think from the story, when you say like you're asking for bananas, they give you 3, but you want 4, so you're like, I don't eat odd numbers.
Yeah, it's an odd number. 3 is an odd number.
Yeah, but then you don't give back 1, you take 1. So I thought that story was so powerful, because even think about the story of your father was my grandfather going to exile, and where things are now. The importance of also taking steps forward and avoiding to take backward steps. So the steps that are all the things that have been achieved throughout time through God's help, praying and maintaining your hope so that you don't start moving backwards. I thought that was very important when I see like what has happened to our country and generations before us. I see that there's been a steady improvement. That hope that you guys had, now we have hope to go further. We're not thinking like we need to beat these measles.
I know. You have better worries.
We have better worries, but there's still worries. We're still trying to go ahead. So the biggest lesson there for me was not moving backwards.
Wow. Great. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I'll say the scripture of Abraham, against all hope, Abraham in hope believed and so became the father. So I feel like it was an indication that that's probably what set him apart from all the people that were around him. And I feel like that's also what we see in the Bible with like Noah and all the greats is that they believed in God. And again, because we're saying against all odds, like it's that belief, it's that faith in the things that we haven't seen. And that's what's going to get you to where you want to go. And then Ecclesiastes 11:4, whoever watches the wind will not plant, whoever looks at the clouds will not reap, just was reminding me to not wait for the seasons to be perfect. Like he was saying, I don't need to be going backwards. Like the seasons will continue. If I stop and say I'm gonna wait, then I am going backwards just by waiting because everyone else is moving forward. So I feel like that was a reminder that whatever it is that I'm supposed to be hoping for, I'm supposed to be, if it's a dream, if it's anything, that I ought to see to plant in the times where I don't see the fruits, and then eventually the fruit will come.
Wonderful, wonderful. By the way, it can be a question, it can be a comment. Yeah, anything. You can just say something here.
Thank you so much. Mine is testimony.
Oh, good.
So this article was released during COVID for the first time, and that's when I was a subscriber actually on the website, and it helped me a lot. I remember I was an internee at DMC Hospital, and back then COVID, people of my profession were getting ibiraka. They were getting jobs, regular gigs at RBC, and they were getting good money. And guess what? There was no transport. Everything was shut down, and all the odds were telling me to just quit internship and go to find gigs. But when I read this one, I actually ended up adding almost 1.5 years of internship before getting a job. And guess what? I'm still working at DMC 5 years later. So it really encouraged me. I used to walk a distance to go to work. And then I also had to live alone so that I can make it. But the internship lasted for 2 years. And when I graduated and got the licenses, I just got a job. And I'm still there, and I don't plan to go anywhere. So this one encouraged me back then when you posted it for the first time. Thank you so much.
That's beautiful. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
maybe something I've just tried it to process in my mind while Julius was reading is I asked myself so many questions. In this generation, when we look around, do people even embrace the power of handling odds? Because when you don't have a reason to get out of your house, you actually have to feel like, okay, why do I have to get out of the house? But because you want to put something on the table, especially men or mothers, you know. So at the end of the day, you have to provide as a man, and you have to make sure that your kids go to school. So even when you feel like sleeping, you have the reasons to get out of the house, get out of the bed, and so make sure that you even the odds, because landlord do not hear excuses of, you know, I felt very tired, and so I think there is something also the article talks about. So the situation in your story, the story of how where your house was, and so the coexistence of the cow dung and also the milk. So do you want do you want milk? So if you want milk, can you correlate the situation of the cow dung and
That's
because you need milk.
That's good, yeah.
So I think in this generation, sometimes you want to see things appear like even, yet we need to ensure that, okay, handling the odds is, the results. We will enjoy the results of, trying to even the odds. So thank you.
Yeah, so you want it reminds me when God makes a promise, he said, I'm taking you to a land that flows with milk and honey. And the guys reach there. But then they will need cows to graze and then to take care of them, to milk them. Yeah, and then honey, they are going to need bees and beehives and that whole assignment. So sometimes when God says milk and honey, you're not thinking about the process. Yeah, you're just thinking about the product. Yeah, but sometimes the process is important.
I just want to get this out there. I feel like this might be lost, like not entirely, but just to clarify. We are not, like, as humans, in control of the odds.
Correct.
Of, like, in our lives, And a lot of times things might not be going your way, and you might feel, oh, these odds are stacked against me and all this, blah, blah, blah. Let's say you have a goal that you have aligned and doesn't fall through, and you start complaining, saying, oh, the odds are stacked against me, but if you trust in God and you put your faith in God, He will put everything in line for your life. Even though you might not see it, but that faith that Abraham had and all these other prophets and everyone had, you come to realize that things might not just always be about you. So after you meditate and you think about it and all that, there are things that Elder Eugene here had to go through, his father had to go through, and there are things that we're going through that are completely different. So yeah, I just want you guys to know that it's all up to God, and even though you might not see it as your odds being even, they are if you put your faith in the right place.
Good. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. And in the article, one part, then Ronald will speak, one part that he would not be able to read because it's an illustration, there's a chart of numbers. So basically, to make sure that we understand, we have 1. 1 is an odd number, right? Then you go 2, then you go 3. 3 is an odd number. Then you go 4, then you go 5, then you go 6, then you go 7, okay? Like that. And in this world, usually you have a valley that leads you to a mountain. Then a mountain, you have to go down to a valley, and then you go to another mountain. So if you're on mountain 1 and you want to go to mountain 2, you must get down to climb to mountain 2. Yeah, so something like that. So if you're even the mountain tops, then you need to get down to get up. If you're going to go to 4, if you're at 2, and you need to go to 4, you need to go through 3, and then go to 4. Yeah, anyway, we can come back to that. But Ronald has something to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to share something as well about the story of your life. I found something of refusing to live like our background was, because there's a much big likeness that you might also live as your father has lived, and if you don't refuse that, you personally, there's a big chance that you're also going to be in that. So beyond hoping, I think you should also take action.
Good.
Because you can't just sit and say, I'm hoping for the best to come. Like,
that's true.
I'll be here waiting for good things to happen. You take action.
Yeah.
You leave the comfort, and it brought me to an example that I've had a few days ago. It's like riding a bicycle. If you're not riding, you're falling. There's no stopping. Like there's no comfort in there.
Yeah, you keep cycling.
So, yeah, you keep cycling. Yeah, so there's this thing of taking a step, and though you're hoping, but also take action.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, faith without action is dead.
Can I paint a little?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. There's something he forgot to tell you about those houses.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to paint it properly.
Okay.
So it's good. It will give you the image of the kind of life we lived. You forgot to tell you about our cement. We used to cement nicely with the cow dung.
That's a beautiful one.
And to make our houses beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
And we are using, everything is organic. How is that? But I want to say, actually, as he said, life is seasons. And I want to paint this image about season, because the seasons, they come. That is, maybe you are on top. That's your season. You're on the top of the mountain. And then there's a season that will take you down to the valley. And the good news is that the God who takes you on the mountain is the same God who will be with you in the valley. As God with you on the mountain is the same God who will find you in the valley and pull you up against the mountain. Amen. And the good thing is he has never changed. He is there watching. He may not pull you out in that season because it's your season in the valley, but he's watching to see that nothing can destroy you in the valley. Yeah, so the God of the mountain is the same God we'll find in the valley, and he's watching over you. So keep hoping that soon you come back you come out of that valley to the mountain. So the hope will keep you is just a glue that will hold you there in the valley to come out. But remember, his eye is on you. You will not faint there. Thank you.
And Plus has just pointed out about the seasons, the cow dung. They are using it like to cement the house.
Cement, yeah.
It was mostly the work for the ladies. Yeah, and I'm very sure she had a good experience.
but I did it and I wasn't a lady. I didn't know they used to engage us.
Probably maybe, you never know, maybe Elder Eugene went to a house for the first time when she had already done that.
I found her in the town.
It was one of the coming carpets in the house. So there's something I was reminded of. She talked about the cementing, but again, there's something that came into my mind. We all know these kind of imigongo decoration things. Just so you know, they use them out of cow dung. Yeah, like it's part of the ingredients to make umugongo, a very beautiful piece of artwork. Yeah, so they get cow dung and they paint it, and they put some other paints, but inside the umugongo masterpiece of the artwork, there is some cow dung. So there is beauty out of that kind of thing that comes out. Right. That's one thing I was reminded of. And another thing I want to relate, it's Samantha has commented on it. It's the Ecclesiastes 11 verse 4.
That would be Stacy.
Oh, Stacy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Stacy. Yeah. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the crowds will not reap. I'm just gonna relate this to odds, the odd numbers. Me, I just like soccer, and there's something we call betting on the games. they have odds.
Yeah, they use the odds. Yeah.
Yeah, they use the odds. Like you go to the betting company office. I must confess, I did that at some point.
Okay. Confession time. Okay.
Confession. So you will go there and then they give you odds. Like you see all these odds. Maybe let's say Manchester is playing against Arsenal and they give you odds for Arsenal and also odds for Manchester. And then me, as I was a very professional
Better.
I would just do some background checkup with the statistics, with the odds to see that the odds are like the inside news from the teams to see that the odds are favoring me to do a good betting ticket. So in relation to this, if you just see the odds, if you consider odds, sometimes you will not end up betting.
Yeah.
You just see maybe the situation in Manchester is not good, or like the squad is not doing well, but still you have some hope. Like, you know what? I'm gonna take a risk. Just like the business people, they analyze risks, yeah? Even the bettors analyze the odds and the risks. So sometimes I would just like close my eyes and just say, no matter the odds, something might happen in this game. And I'll just buy the team that has low odds compared to the team that has
because it gives you a better price.
Yes, because it gives you a better price. Like say maybe Manchester, if you put 5,000, you get 10,000. But sometimes I would take a risk and go beyond those kind of odds and then buy Manchester. And sometimes I would get some good money, or other time I would lose. So sometimes we calculate risks and we see all these odds. They kind of like hinder us, like they make us set back or like get afraid of like getting a bigger interest out of the ticket of something you'd attempt to do. So God bless you so much. Sorry for the time.
Yeah, but just to put it out there for all you young guys and everybody else, don't go betting. He was just using it as an example, and he said he did it sometime back.
Yeah.
Because first of all, it's addictive. It is addictive, and people just go and lose money, and it's not even an act of faith or something like that. You want to reap where you didn't sow.
I want to ask a question, but I want also to go back to your story. There's something you asked, what are your odds today? As you say there's promises, there's God's promises are yes and amen. And many times God's promises is contrary to your circumstances. And the big question is, whose report will you believe? Now, when you go back to your story, what is your report? What is your report? I want to give us a report. After against all the odds.
I don't know if I understand you, but I think I kind of gave the report. I gave the story of how our dad went out with nothing, basically, and rejoined my mom in a camp, in a refugee camp. That time we were expecting our firstborn. So all of us were born outside our country, and we 10 of us, and then we all lived and grew up. And the report is, I'm a report, I'm here. And I am the evidence of God's grace. And because people did not just stop and freeze. Sometimes I get really annoyed. Actually, there's a young man I'm trying to help. He's young. He's like 26 or something like that. He tells me, we are dying. At home we are dying. We don't have food. I told him, look, you have 2 hands, you have 2 legs, your body is okay. You are in your country, go look for a job. Go do something. Go help the builders, Just maybe you come to me and ask me to help you get somewhere and work. Don't ask me for money, just try and work, because I've done that before with him, helped him, but he doesn't want to get out of his situation. He's crying in his situation and, counting his odds, instead of taking steps. Yeah, so basically, I think, if you take one more count, like I say, you move from 3 to 4, from 4 to 5, and like that. Yeah. So basically, I wanted to kind of wind this up a bit with a few nuggets to take home. I am sure you can take home more than that. You can take home a lot from everybody. But also I wanted to prepare your mind for the life. When we bring out this article like this one, I'm trying to prepare us for reality. Because usually, sometimes we want to tell people that life is okay, life is smooth, things are fine, and then you don't actually see that. Eventually, you don't see that. You see different things in reality. Yeah? So, life is an oscillation. That's one, oscillation. Generally, yeah? I think even the nature, the way God created it, you say night and day, yeah? You see winter and summer, you see, hills and mountains. So basically, if you expect something like this in life, some flat kind of life, then you are going to keep yourself confused. Life is an oscillation. Sometimes it's oscillating from bad things to good things. There is one preacher that I love. What's his name? The one on spiritual formation. Hudson? Trevor Hudson. So they asked him, he lived in, you can go and see some of his teachings. I really like him because he's very real. So he lived in South Africa at a time when there was all those problems in South Africa. And then they would ask him, how do you manage to live in South Africa? Then he told them, Monday, I despair. Tuesday, I hope. Wednesday, I despair. Thursday, I hope. Friday, I despair. Saturday, I hope. But what he wanted to say, humanly, there are times that you're down. Yeah, let's say it. Yeah, there's times that you really feel you are down. And then, but are you going to wake up, get up, and hope again and move on? Or are you going to be held in that situation? Okay? Then the second one is, although life is, and on that one, I would even give you a scripture. Like Paul says, I can do all things, right? But what are those all things? He says, I've learned to have little and to have plenty. I've learned to be in pain and to be in joy. I've learned to be persecuted and to live in contentment. Then I can do all things. He's not saying to achieve. Sometimes when you say, what have you done? You just write their words. You don't count the failures, but you've done the failures as well. And they count. They count. The prisons count, the sicknesses count because you went through them. Yeah? So he said, I can do all things. So the second one is that we can choose to be, to have mountain experiences, like to aim at mountains, even when we are going through valleys, right? Yeah, we can still have our mindset is mountain experience. If we take mountain to be the even, right? So our mind is even. It's not odds. Our mind is even. And the example I have is like the spies who went to spy the land, the promised land. And then they see all these things and everything is an odd against them. The 10 spies, they were 12. The 10 spies, what they reported was correct. These guys are big, these guys are... They are not telling the lies. But then Caleb and Joshua, they said, although this is like this, we are able, we can, we don't give up. God has promised. So they maintain a faith in the valley to go to the mountain. They maintain a faith to go to the mountain. So you can have a mindset that life will be an oscillation, but you can have a mindset that in your oscillation, your destiny actually is the what? Is the mountain. You know those games where children go up and down, eh? They still know that, well, I'm going up and down, but eventually, this way I live. Now, the last one is, are you able actually to see valleys as access points to the next mountain, access points? You know, Psalms 84 says that those whose strength are in the Lord, they go through the valley of tears and they make it a well of joy. So, so they kind of like see the valley and they go through it. They don't sit in it, they don't build their house in it, and they don't say, oh, me, I'm damned, this is finished, this is me, I take this. They don't. They move through it and progress. Actually, the Bible calls them, they set their hearts on pilgrimage. That's it, they set their hearts on pilgrimage. Yeah, so basically those are beautiful lessons I want us to take, and I think I loved all your stories and all your contributions, even the odds. So whatever odds you have, guys, make one count. Make one count, and you move to the next place. And your destiny is a mountain. And you can do all things. Yeah, God bless you. Till next time. Yeah.